I think that on the list of terrible things in this world, Ubisoft ranks somewhere between world hunger and war. Nonetheless, I figured that maybe I have been too harsh on Ubisoft lately and figured I'd give their latest Far Cry a try. Well, that and its own Game Pass apparently, so I was like, meh. And I'm happy to announce that Far Cry 6 was precisely what I expected it to be. Trash. Within the first 10 minutes I had already experienced everything the Far Cry experience has to offer. Namely, stealth takedowns, deaf enemies, animal jump scares and outposts. Surely there must be more. Honestly, not really. Okay, to be fair, even I know that Far Cry strives with its chaotic and fluent gameplay. This time we can stab, shoot and explode things on an island, which we've never done before, except for all of these entries. And is that fun? Yes, I mean, yeah. Sure, I don't think there's anyone who thinks the opposite. I have a simple monkey brain, and whenever things go boom, I coom. It just kinda blows that Far Cry always manages to outstay its welcome. When I started this game, I was genuinely enjoying it and happy with the fact that the map wasn't so big. Then I zoomed out and realized how absolutely fucking gigantic the map actually is. 1 hour of Far Cry is fun. 1 day of Far Cry feels like torture. Far Cry has never taken itself too seriously. And a great way of showing it is by doing things like shoving a turret on top of a Beaumont Valentia or making sure that you can have a pet alligator as an amigo. Far Cry has always had great gameplay mechanics like these, and next to the ones we just mentioned, Far Cry 6 has taken the liberty to add even more amazing ones like hacking, stealing, automatic driving. Oh, no, wait, these blow. Why does hacking take so long? Why does stealing crates take so long? Why is the auto drive mechanic so broken? Why can't I fast travel 2 fast travel points with missions next to it? Why do my companions always get lost? Why? Ubisoft tried to compensate for these terrible gameplay mechanics by removing all of the fun gameplay mechanics from the previous games, like skill trees and the fact that you could pick up enemy weapons. Yeah, I don't know why they removed that. The most obvious answer is to ensure that people will use one of their other new mechanics, the Supremo, which is just a lame name for backpack. The Supremo is essentially a portable supply camp that has abilities like shooting rockets, which also ensures that you can make classes as if it's Call of Duty and then switch between them on the fly. This concept would have been great if the game actually provided any type of challenge to its gameplay, but unfortunately for you to have compelling gameplay, you also need compelling enemies, which are absent. You see, fucking people up is great fun as it makes you feel empowered and cool. Whatever. But you will quickly realize that stomping on everybody you see is kinda like bragging you got first place in a karate contest with you being an adult and the other contestants being special ED kids. This is a two-sided coin, with the one end being the amount of fun you get from messing the AI up. The other end is the fact that you actually have to cooperate with them as well. Any mission that revolves more than one person, and that person being you, will always result in a shit show, the equivalent of trying to teach a dog how to build a house, because man, is the AI brain dead. Watching the AI do anything except stand still is absolutely excruciating. It's like watching Joe Biden give a speech. It's already problematic when he stands still, but the second something distracts him or he has to move, everything just somehow gets even worse than imaginable. They disrupt mission dialogue for enemies that don't exist. They always seem to get stuck on imaginary objects. They will stare at you when you're bleeding out, and the one time they actually manage to save you, they'll find a way to unalive themselves within seconds afterwards. And all of this has nothing to do with difficulty, by the way. I selected the hardest one, and still everybody absolutely sucks. All it does is turn enemies into bullet sponges, but that's about it. Which somehow still aren't even the worst things this game had to offer, because the glitches and bugs, holy shit. From trippy animations to unimaginable stupid AI, the game just constantly feels like it's hanging on by a thread. At one point the game crashed while I was in a damaged helicopter, but the sound of the damaged helicopter just kept on playing even when the game wasn't even running anymore. But even all of the unfinished and broken gameplay can't even hold a candle to the writing. I don't know why writers nowadays cater so much towards the whole if you make everyone act like douchebags, surely the protagonist will start liking them idea, but it sure as shit does not work for me. Everyone you meet saves no time in immediately making clear how much they don't like you,
not asking you,
don't trust you,
anything and I'll cut your head off and use it as a football,
or how much they don't care about your issues.
It's like you forget that I'm trans in fucking Yara. So don't
Talk as if you know what it's like for me.
Well, then you don't act as if I have to give a fuck. Like, every character is just so hostile. Danny might be my favorite Ubisoft protagonist so far because he or she barely speaks in general. And if there's one thing a non-talkative character is great for, it's making sure they don't say cringy shit. In fairness, the writing here is still less terrible than whatever they're attempting with the Assassin's Creed series momentarily.
Why risk our necks to go there?
The Wolf of Sparta is my father.
And yeah, sure, Giancarlo Esposito plays a great villain.
Run.
What?
Run.
But it's nonetheless hard for me to care about any of these people if they're constantly showing themselves from their most deranged and terrible side. In fairness, the Far Cry stories were always shit, and before you freak out, I'm not saying the villains are shit. The villains are, together with the gameplay, the only reason to play these games. But we cannot act as if taking revenge for your brother who has 50 seconds of screen time, or spreading out your mother's ashes who you have never even met or seen before, or living in a communist dictatorship is in any shape or form relatable for us. Well, maybe for some, but not to me. So then, before you might say, well then why complain about it? Well, because the game constantly introduces new characters every 5 fucking minutes. They throw someone your way, that person will give you like 5 completely identical missions that all boil down to go somewhere and blow something up, and whilst you perform them, constantly harasses you and reminds you why they don't like you or your companions. The only nice character in this entire game was Juan, and that was mostly because he kept throwing funny one-liners and made up rules my way.
Always another war, another cantina, another ugly bartender.
So, do I regret playing this game? No, but it's in a having sex with your cousin kind of way. Sure, you still got laid, but you're not looking back at it fondly. I hope. At least the dog was fun, I guess.